guys, and welcome to this week's episode of Topical Team Sheets on the Phoenix Club. We're doing it a bit early this week because this episode has got a big game focus. I'm sure Josh will be watching, as will I. And it's a combined 11 of Liverpool and Manchester United players. Some say the biggest Premier League rivalry. I perhaps would beg to differ.
It definitely is.
But regardless, we're going to fire through these teams and we want you guys to tell us who's got it right and which will win in a match. So we start with the goalkeepers. Who have you gone for, Josh?
David De Gea, really tough choice. No disrespect to the Liverpool's keepers, but it's a choice of Schmeichel, Van der Sar, De Gea. And I'm thinking De Gea's now been at United longer than Schmeichel has been, I believe, or at least he will have been next season. And given how poor the defence in front of him is, to put off the saves he does is just incredible. So David De Gea, probably amongst the best keepers of all time, above Schmeichel and Van der Sar for me.
So for me, it's Peter Schmeichel, Champions League winner, multiple Premier League winner. And he's in there for me, again, probably because of his legendary status and the number of honours. Fantastic keeper. And I don't think we need to even dignify it more. Two fantastic keepers. And onto the right backs, and I've gone for Jamie Carragher. Don't think really there's much debate there.
No, I'm the same with you. I mean, I think he performed best as a centre back, but certainly in the early years of his Liverpool career, when they had Oncho and Hyypiä as the centre back partnership, Carragher was the right back. So yeah, I think by virtue of the fact, because I hate to leave Gary Neville out really, but
we were. Just so you know, guys, by the way, we've forced ourselves to do 5 players from one team and 6 of the other. So there's no bias with regards to teams or anything like that. So again, this is why perhaps Josh had to leave Gazaneza out.
Gazaneza!
But on to the centre-back partnership. And I've gone for one of each. I've gone for Rio Ferdinand and Virgil van Dijk. Van Dijk, I think, is such an incredible player, and you can see by his effect on Liverpool in the second half of last season and this season. And Rio Ferdinand, best ball-playing centre-back of the Premier League era, period, for me. Who have you gone for, Josh?
Again, I think I'm going to be saying this a lot. Not necessarily my candidates for best players from both teams overall, but if we're picking half-half, I've gone for Sami Hyypiä and Nemanja Vidic. I disagree with Van Dijk. I don't think that he's been at Liverpool long enough to warrant any kind of status apart from that he's decent at the moment. Sami Hyypiä, on the other hand, certainly will go down in Liverpool folklore for being one of their greatest ever centre-backs, an absolute rock in the heart of their defence. Was captain for a couple of years as well before Gerrard took over, and an all-round great servant. I think he was there for 10 years in the end. Great servant for Liverpool for us at a number of years. Nemanja Vidic, everything you want in a centre-back, really. I mean, if you think about, as I always said, the two types of centre-back, you've got the finesse one, the kind of Ferdinand-style defender, and then you've got the hard-nut defender, the Nemanja Vidic type defender. And you would always want someone like him that always would put his head on the block if it meant that his team would keep a clean sheet.
So, onto the left-backs, and I've gone for a teammate of Nemanja Vidic's, Patrice Evra, who was, I think, a fantastic player. Another bedrock of that second, third generation Ferguson team that won 3 Premier Leagues in a row and the Champions League, as well as other cup honours like the League Cup, things like that. And again, I don't even think he needs to be merited because his record speaks for itself. Just so fast. He had crossing, he had tackling, every tool in the box for a left-back. Who have you gone for, Josh?
Well, by default, I've had to go for a Liverpool left-back. And although it was difficult to leave Alberto Moreno out, I've had to go for John Arnorisa in the end.
Brilliant player.
His long-range shooting was out of this world. And he drifted between being a left-back and a left-sided midfielder. What can I say? Great player. And who can forget the Andy Gray commentary where he goes, was it, you beauty, or words to that effect. Forgive my Scottish accent. Yeah, John Arnorisa.
I think that was for Gerrard, wasn't it?
Oh, was it? What was it?
I think it was when, in the League Cup final, 2005. Take a bow, son.
The John Olorisa ones against Man United in I think 2001, where he slides on his knees, puts the shirt over his head. I can't remember. I
Yeah,
can't
no,
remember the commentary.
but it's still.
I don't. Whatever it was classic commentary. Anyway, who are your centre mids?
So my sentiments, I think we are pretty much in agreement. It'd be rude not to go for these two. Paul Scholes, Steven Gerrard.
Yeah.
I mean, do we even need to talk about the greatness of those two players?
Well, as you said, arguably alongside Frank Lampard, the three greatest centre midfielders, the English centre midfielders
Definitely
ever. Even take the English out of it, three of the greatest centre midfielders ever. Again, tough to leave Roy Keane out of it, but
Javi
I think
Alonso
it would have been sorry.
and Javi
Yes,
Alonso.
very true as well, and Eric Djemba-Djemba. But I think it was tough to leave Roy Keane out, but I think it would have been tougher to leave Steven Gerrard out ultimately.
Definitely,
For
definitely.
me, Paul Scholes is top of those three, but Steven Gerrard in there, leader, you know, what can I say?
Would you be a captain?
Inspirational, talented, brilliant.
Would you be a captain?
Hmm, probably in the absence of Roy Keane, probably yeah. I think he would be.
Oh, it's a good admission. I'm proud of myself for getting that out of you, actually.
Damn, I'll leave that out in the edit.
On to the right midfielders. I've gone for Steve McManaman, a Spice boy. Always score important goals in Champions League finals, I think FA Cup finals. And again, another really good English player. I love his clips from Euro 96 as well, under Venables. I think just another player I think it would be rude not to put in. I'm probably a little bit biased towards English players. I think McManaman definitely deserves an entry. But on that note, who's your right midfielder?
Cristiano Ronaldo. Again, tough choice between him and David Beckham. Beckham is my favourite player ever, but Cristiano Ronaldo is just something else. He wasn't just class; he was world class. He was as good as you can get, I think. And for United not even to get him in his prime, when he was still 25, 26 when he left, maybe even slightly younger. Excuse me. And so for him to have been a Ballon d'Or winner as well as winning the Premier League and the Champions League in the same season, in the same year, uh, for me, the first player without question on this team sheet.
And on the left, we've both gone for Ryan Giggs. Again, there's so many great players in this team. It's like whittling off legend after legend after legend after legend. You obviously record appearance and maker. I love looking through all of his stickers.
Yeah.
Season on season, and now Wales national team coach.
Yeah. And subject of the latest Paddy Power advert as well. But I think Ryan Giggs is perhaps fortunate in the sense that there aren't many contenders for this left midfielder position. But on the flip side of that, no one's going to come close to ousting him out of this side. Certainly not in my opinion anyway. As you said, class player. Forget looking at his stickers, looking at his goals and some of the things that he could do with the football, the way that he would run with the ball, certainly in his younger days. Moved into a more central position as he aged. Just fantastic. Legend.
Perfect. And on to the strikers, and we've gone for two completely different pairings. And my pairing is Luis Suarez and Wayne Rooney. A bit more contemporary than yours, I think, Josh.
Yeah.
But I would merit these two because Suarez, obviously, world class in 2013-14. And you just have to see his impact when you look at Liverpool the season after, where they came sixth, I believe, and were really, really poor. And Wayne Rooney, I believe, United's all-time record goal scorer.
Unfortunately, yes.
You're not a fan?
No. I think he's overrated. I think the problem with Rooney is that we were always talking about him in the present, but we were actually referring to how he was when he was 18, 19, 20. And he never, in my opinion, he was good, and I'm not trying to take that away from him, but I don't think he was as good as he should have been, given the promise he showed as a youngster. And I think that you want someone that embodies Manchester United to have these top records. And for me, Bobby Charlton did more so than Rooney, who handed in a transfer request twice to go to Chelsea, I believe, on both occasions. And somebody that I think saw playing for Manchester United more as a job than for a love of the club. But I guess that's an argument for another
Same with
day.
England.
Yeah,
Who's
true.
your strike pair?
So I've gone for Eric Cantona and someone that controversially played for both teams in Michael Owen. So first of
Cop
all,
out.
Eric Cantona, I speak about him all the time, and just so much praise for the man. Went on to inspire the generations that followed him to be the most successful teams ever in England, really. And he was just a leader, natural born captain. I think he only captained us for a season in the end to the Premier League, and we won 4 titles in the 5 seasons he was at the club. The only season we didn't win it was when he was suspended for 8 months. So again, like with Suarez, that says a lot. You couldn't pay me to put Luis Suarez in a team of any kind, apart from a team of scumbags. And alongside him, Michael Owen, hilariously for me, had to go to United to win the Premier League. Also, perhaps in United folklore for that goal against City in the 95th minute, I think it was. Of course, perhaps more fondly remembered, however, by the neutral for his time at Liverpool, where he was a youngster. Perhaps there's the argument that he didn't quite live up to his potential too, but I think that was more through bad luck than just bad performances. And he had a lot of injuries, certainly when he was sort of in the early 2000s. And so yeah, Cantona and Owen rounding off my strikers.
Anyway, guys, those are our teams. Those are our Liverpool and Man United all-time composite 11s. Comment yours down below. Let us know if we've made any mistakes. Enjoy the game as well. I'm sure it'll be a brilliant one. I'm Tom. This has been Josh. Thanks for watching.